Beardos, weirdos, boils and ghouls. Beardo, I'm about to really annoy some people. I get a lot of emails, a lot of inboxes, a lot of messages. And more than, can you look at this channel because I think they're faking, what I get is, can you look at my channel because we are real? And there has been an abundance that people have asked me to look at because they're real. I look at the channel, I look at the subscriber count, and there's not many, and then I watch some footage and I'm like, you're faking. Or at the very least, if you're not faking, I have cause for concern. And because these channels are so small, and they're hoping that either I'll shout them out and say, hey, this is real, or this is fake, because getting into an argument with me helps channels to grow. It really does. People will argue with me, call me out, and just by calling me out, they bring eyes onto their channel. It's a smart move. But there's a channel that they asked me a few times, you know, when are you going to look at our channel? Are you going to look at our channel? I'm like, I've looked at your channel. I have. Be patient. There was always this undertone with this channel, or from one of them. And it was always a bit pushy. And I'm like, the more you push, the more you nag, the more I'm going to ignore. It's as simple as that. But then this guy comes into the Discord, he comes into the community, and he fits in quite well, if I'm completely honest. And then I even invite him one day on to game with us live. And he's gaming with us, and he's cool. Doesn't say anything that is, you know, out of order or anything. And then I get people inboxing me, hey, this guy has put out a community post, short, having a bit of a pop at you, because you only support big channels. And I'm like, well, that's not true, because some of the channels that I have shouted out and given support to are under 1,000 subscribers. Ask Dorset Paranormal Investigators. So I went into their comments, and I was like, hey, do you think you are? It's not what I said. Don't twist what I've said. Etc, etc, etc. They got shitty, I got shitty. They apologised, they took the post down. And I'm like, if they felt that strongly about it, why have they bent over so quickly? Whatever. Cool. A couple of weeks ago, you will all remember, debunkers are evil, debunkers are vile, debunkers are toxic. And then we got video takedowns, defamation cases launched against us. There was 2 weeks where it felt like everyone was gunning for the debunkers, and it was like, holy shit. Now, this was quite a while ago, so it's not anything recent before you all think it was the hotel. This was a while ago, so it's nothing to do with the recent events. As I said, I'm staying out of it. And then I see this other post, debunkers, how debunkers are, and it was loathing and blah blah blah. It was a Grinch reenactment, and the guy does a very good impression. Now, the guy doing the impression wasn't aiming it at anyone, but one of the guys in the team thought it would be funny to put debunkers at the beginning of it. And I really didn't take kindly to it, and neither did some people in the debunking community, and they were like, hey, with everything that's going on, do you think this is funny? And again, they were like, it's meant to be a joke, and then they took it down. And at that point, I'm like, F you guys. F you guys. And there was a little bit of back and forth in the Discord with them and some other people, and I was like, do you know what? Just get them out of there. I don't want them in my Discord. So I kicked them out. One of the guys still remained in there because he was always polite, always pretty cool with everyone. So, you know, he can stay. The toxic guy, bye-bye, adios. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, because I don't want toxicity in my Discord. There is a reason that in my Discord, when people start about Laney and Ben or Ghost Theory or anyone else, I'll put a nail in there and be like, we do not talk like that, because we don't want people screenshotting, sending to these people and saying, this is how they behave. Because that's not how we behave. That's not what we want. And then they turn up in a live stream now and again, and they're like, hey, yeah, have you looked at our channel yet? And I'm like, yeah, I have. There's things I've seen that I'm like, oh no, this is turned on all by itself. Right. When things have batteries running out, they will turn themselves on, they will sound slow, they will sound demonic. That's exactly what happened in that video, and he kind of accepted that. But there were some other bits. And now I've looked further and further into their channel. They get more evidence than, say, the Ouija Brothers, Ghosts on Trend, Dead Cold, myself, put together. In 2 years, they have had more evidence than all of the channels that I have just listed put together. Now, bearing in mind, in 5 years that Exploring the Entity has been investigating, he has sent me 2 things to look at. 2. These guys are capturing stuff all the time, and there's a trend to it. And I'll start the trend with this first thing that I've caught. So I would like to draw your attention to Ghost caught moving a light switch. Thoughts and reactions. Now, this is where the frame starts. There's nothing before. It just starts here. And this is what moves. Now, can I say with 100% certainty that right here, they are faking? No. Why? Because I can't see around that corner.
When it moved. Here it is again in slow motion. Just look how it moves. It just comes out a little bit, goes in, and then comes all the way out. Like, it's as if somebody's physically tugging the...
Now, his description there is based around the actual light socket. The plate. That moving out. What he is completely ignoring is if somebody's got their hand up higher than that and swings the cable that's clearly loose, that's how you could get that effect. This hand is just out of shot. There's somebody stood with their back to that wall or side on. They've got the top of the wire. They give it a little push, a pull, create a pendulum, swing it about. Am I saying that is what they have done there? Absolutely not. But the possibility of that being the case, if we look at with logic, was it a ghost? Was it somebody off camera? Could just be a bad camera placement for a poltergeist event. Okay? Fair. I'm being fair. Next video. Haunted clock tower we caught so much. Now, somebody questioned this in my Discord. And a couple of days later, these guys had screenshot out of the Discord, posted it on their YouTube, and basically made out that they were being picked on. It was a question. Nobody accused them of any fakery. It was a, how do you think this happened, Beardo? And I looked at who the channel was and was like, I'm having nothing to do with it. It's just going to lead to drama. And then I saw that it was actually taken out of my Discord. I was like, hang on, you can't just screenshot out of a Discord and then post it up on the internet. Especially after you've been removed from said Discord. Right, so one of the other guys has done it. So we kicked them all out. Bearing in mind, this is more poltergeist activity. And the same issues are present in this video as the last one. Observe.
Well, there's going to be some noise, Mark, because they're coming.
That EMF just moved. Now watch again, and I'll tell you where the problem with this is.
Well, there's going to be some noise, Mark, because they're coming down.
The problem is that the bottom of the EMF is not in shot. It is slightly out of shot, and it looks like somebody's pushed the corner of it. Can I say with 100% certainty that somebody pushed that EMF and it wasn't a ghost? No. But this is much further on in their careers. They got multiple cameras. There's like 8 or 9 of them in this investigation. There's something with a shadow in the basement earlier on in the investigation, and it's clearly not a ghost. Check it out for yourself if you really want to. But this is the same thing as that light switch. Something happens, and part of what is being moved is obscured. And I believe they play it again here in slow motion.
What's that?
Imagine, if you will, I am the paranormal investigator, and this is my position, right in front of the stairs. Here's my camera. Ooh, ghosty, 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 ghosty. Poke that corner that is just out of shot. You could have a little stick, your own finger, whatever. And there's something up with the movement of it. Now again, was that a ghosty wosty going, or, haha, take that, ghost hunters? Or is it whoever is holding the camera giving a little poke? Now that banister looks like it's on a slope in that video. It's not, it's flat. So it's not like somebody upstairs has moved and it's disturbed it and it's spun and fallen off on a slope. It's flat. They try to recreate it later. They blow it really hard before it moves, and then they jumping up and down. They slap in the banister to prove that it can't happen. It can't happen. Now, if this was the only evidence they'd ever captured, I'd be far less cynical about it. But they've got a plethora of poltergeist activity on their channel. That EMF recorder looked to me like it was pushed from the bottom corner. So, was it a ghost or was it a human? Common sense, it's a human. And it's the guy holding the camera. Again, is it 100% proof that they are faking? Absolutely not. I'm not going to say they're faking unless I had seen the finger in shot, or the shadow of a finger in shot. And I don't see that. But I do start to have issues when they go to Lancaster and it makes them ill. A demonic poltergeist. It snarled at us. Paranormal activity. Items caught moving in the poltergeist house. Berthor lineworks. Does a demon live here? Absolutely not. There has never been reports of demons at the lineworks. There have been deaths there. The hanging tree. Something spoke to us. Saxon ground. Something was in the building with us. Something hissed at us at the bridge tea rooms. Ghost tunnel. Was a ghost captured on camera? Ancient ramen, we caught a table moving. And the same problem is present. Something moves, and you can't see everything on camera. There are people all around this room with cameras. Observe.
What, the back of his neck?
Yeah, if he's got scratches on there or anything. Have you got a bird? Oh, for crying sake.
Chris.
It wasn't Chris, it was
That wasn't Chris. That was me. That was you that did that.
No,
that was not me. I saw his leg. That wasn't
me.
Chris.
I went back like that on the chair. That wasn't me. I'm on camera doing that, yeah?
We need to
That wasn't me.
Are you taking a piss?
Okay, let's look back. Right, where's the footage?
Right, that come from your side, so that couldn't have been him.
The table went up, you're not moving your legs.
Yeah, if he's got scratches on there or anything. Have you got a bird?
There.
Got scratches on there or anything. Have you got a bird? Oh, for crying
His leg is moving. His leg is moving before the table moves. Now, we can't see the bottom of the table. We can't see the legs of the table to the floor. Again, is this proof of fakery? I think so. The guy in the background with the baseball cap on, you see his leg move a few times and then the table leg moves. One of them's getting up, both of these other guys' legs are moving, and there's a guy at the other end. We can't see their feet against the table legs. Again, this isn't 100%, but this is a lot of activity for this team. Now, they've been going for 2 years, but they don't have a huge amount of videos. These guys are not out weekly. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying anything about how often they get to go out. This is a paid location. Clearly, they love the paranormal. But again, something has moved and we can't see everything in shot, in frame. There are multiple cameras in this room. And not one of them is looking from a far enough away perspective for us to see that entire table from floor to the top and see all of their legs. Is this the best evidence they've got? Or is this simply one of them has kicked the table without realising? Probably. Has one of them kicked the table and realised and done it on purpose? Possibly. Is this poltergeist activity at the ancient ramen moving a table on camera? I don't think so. Though the other issue with that entire section of video is they're all blaming each other. So clearly there's no trust. Now, one of them even says, oh, for God's sake, like somebody's just knocked the table and everything has slid. They even have a top 10 scariest moments caught on camera. A top 10. I know channels that have been running for 7 years that couldn't put together a top 10. Are they just unlucky? Possibly. Are these guys really lucky? Possibly. Or is there something else going on? Okay, so in with these top 10s, they have a tripod fall over with a camera on it. And I don't know what I'm meant to be looking at here. This is the screen. This is what falls over. Why am I looking at the frame of a phone? Was there a camera looking at the screen of a phone, which makes no sense? It goes over.
The tripod wasn't on anything unsteady. It was there for quite a while.
The tripod falls over, but a camera behind it that's following it also falls into a different direction. I can't get my head around this. So if something on a tripod has fallen on its own, but somebody is filming it from behind, there's somebody there. Or there are two tripods lined up, perfectly in sync, a camera filming a mobile phone that's filming, and they've both gone at the same time. It's bizarre. I don't get it. And this investigation, I watched this a while ago, and the whole thing seemed off. This is the one where the toy turns on in the attic, and it's just, that's clearly the batteries are running out. They're getting knocks in the house, but the family that they were investigating, this poltergeist house, are present the entire time. And there's confusion as to how many people are there, because people are walking between rooms and stuff, and you're like, I thought you said only the mum was there. Well, who's this younger girl that's just walked through the frame? And while it doesn't immediately say, hey, that's fake, it's like, why would you investigate when people are moving about the house? It makes no sense. There's contamination. You can't prove 100% that what you've got there is paranormal, which is fine. And I'm hoping that they show the other activity they got in this house, because it's bizarre.
Okay, for the sake of this, I'm looking at the owner right now. Make a big loud bang, please.
Yeah,
There it is.
There you are. There you are.
What I find fascinating about these knocks is that they happen after I ask them to. There are many other places.
I'm looking at the owner right now. Yeah, cool. But this guy has got his arm behind the door frame. Now, did this guy knock the wall on command? I can't prove that because I can't see it. However, logically and common sense, did a ghost knock the wall, or was it this guy stood half in a door frame? Again, it's not 100% proof, but when you're capturing this much activity and things are always out of shot or people are half in shot, it makes you question.
Another one, and probably the best I've ever heard and most shocking, was when we were in the poltergeist house upstairs and this snarling came from the attic. I have no idea what caused this.
What did that sound like to you? Did that sound like a demon snarl, which is what they've described, or a singing, speaking toy with the batteries running out? Let's go again. We'll turn the volume
I
up.
have no idea what caused this.
It's not a snarl. It's a speech pattern from a toy with the batteries running out, because they start to sound slow and pretty creepy. But they've already seen a toy do this in the video and claimed it to be paranormal. So, yet again, something off screen, but they know what that is. And this is one that I am happy to say they know what that is. They know that's the toy with the batteries running out because he's already been up the attic, or he goes up there later and the toy goes off and he gives it all, oh, and all that bullshit. And it's like, I can't believe it. Can't believe it.
And this next clip is why I stopped using the net altogether, because the damn thing flew off the wall when I asked it to ring.
People can walk down.
You can move that bell for me whilst when we're here. Like now.
Yes, mates. Yes, mates. Oh, yes.
Hey, come on, why did you throw the bell up?
That was brilliant.
You rocked the ass.
Right, as you can see, the bell's down there on the floor. It was on the wall, just over there on that little pillar.
It went from that wall.
Alright? Yeah, now look at you, alright.
A bell got thrown off a wall. It wasn't on camera at all. Nothing was in shot. There is no proof. All we see is him with the camera on his face. We hear the bell and then they turn around and it's on the floor. We don't know where anyone is. We can't see any... I can't say it's a string because you can't see the bell. Okay, so, and then we're back at the poltergeist house. He's up the attic with a camera. There's a static camera looking at him, and there's this awful camera down here. Now, I'm not slating anyone's equipment. They've clearly been upgrading as they go in. Fair play to them. But we can see the top of the ladder there. He's pointing wherever that's pointing, and this camera is pointing at the general direction of the ladder, but we can't see the ladder from bottom to top. There's stuff all around here behind it. We don't know what's to this side. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say there's somebody stood there as pushed. Now, I watched this investigation months ago, and this was the investigation where I was like, these guys are full of it. Because of the toy, because of that demonic growl, because of this ladder move. Now, this has been chopped down. And when you watch this investigation in full, there is somebody stood quite close to that ladder.
Is that you, Chris? That ladder just went. That ladder just went.
So we see the top of the ladder. They don't then show the ladder from the bottom again. Why?
by themselves in the poltergeist house. First up is the Teddy.
You'll be so patient here, aren't you? What was that?
Wow. 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 This is real.
As he leans forward, something flies out of a room below him. Or did it fall out of the attic behind him? A toy starts moving on its own and falls over. That, again, to me, is a toy that's going to move anyway. That's what it does. It's a penguin that wobbles, and it falls over. So there's stuff in the attic, Christmas decorations that sing, talk, move, etc. We've heard one, we've seen one wobble and then fall over. Low batteries can do that. Then one of them is in the attic, leans forward, and as he leans forward, something crashes below him. They play the second camera, which is a mobile phone. They don't upload the footage directly, they record the phone screen. I don't know why you would do that. It's time-lapse footage, and you can... Obviously, there's jumps in it, because it's time-lapse footage. To me, what you're seeing is not the toy coming out of the room, it's the shadow of whatever has just fallen out of the attic behind that guy. Now, did they stage that? Did they fake that? Did they lie about that? Eventually, he just leaned forward, something's fallen out the attic, and he didn't realise, and they've assumed it's come out of the room because of the shadow. But there is a top 10 video there of paranormal activity. And that top 10 has multiple entries for some of the numbers. For example, number 8, this noise, this noise, this noise. Number 1, this poltergeist activity, this poltergeist activity. Well, I haven't counted them, but a top 10, and there are more than 10 paranormal things happened in that top 10. And with the exception to that toy that's walking, nothing is fully in shot. They go into that room to prove there's nobody in there, but they don't look to the right behind whatever is on the right. And this is the reason that when you guys were asking me to look at you to shout you out as legitimate, I couldn't do it. Because the more I looked, the more I was like, there's too much activity. It's all the time. And you get all defensive about somebody asking a question about the EMF that moved. They didn't accuse you of anything. They asked a question, Beardo, how do you think this happened? Oh, they've accused us of fakery. Now, personally, I'm a big believer of if it seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. But when it is that many, multiple poltergeist events, growls, snarls, whistles, and all, that many times, I have alarm bells ringing. Then there's the general attitude and the we would never fake, we would never fake, we would never fake. Yet they never seem to learn that every time they capture something, they don't have a camera far away enough to capture everything in shot to prove that nothing has been staged. Which in itself is worrying because you'd learn. You know, they've been at this for years, as they've said, and they've not learned to keep a camera further back. They've clearly got multiple cameras, they've got mobile phones, etc. I don't understand the framing of these shots. And this is a problem with the EMF, the framing, the ladder, the framing. They make sure, in my opinion, that certain points and parts of everything that moves in these videos are out of shot. Which would lead me to believe that it has been staged, it has been faked. The light swinging, maybe a rat crawled across the crawl space and pulled on the wire somewhere, maybe. But that amount of evidence, that consistently, and always something just out of shot except for that toy, I think they're full of it. And I didn't want to go down this route because they seem, most of them, like really nice lads. One of them has this unique ability to get right under my skin. And even when I'm like, yeah, come and game with me, dude. Absolutely, you're welcome. You're as welcome as everyone else. And then he comes on gaming with me, and he's really cool, and I have a great day with him. And then it's all, when you're going to feature us? Looking at the footage, how can I? How can I? Now, if you look at the comment sections, there's loads and loads and loads of people like that stage, that stage, that stage. That doesn't mean shit to me, because there are far better teams out there doing some great work. They'll go 2 years, not capture a damn thing, and then the one day they get something, the comment section will light up with, you faked that. You faked that EMF falling over. You faked this, you faked that. And that pisses me off. Because when teams get one little nugget in years, and people want to shit on it, that pisses me off. You know, there was a 60-something-year-old woman at 30 East Drive, and people were like, yeah, they've run a wire across the stairs, on a swivel, up past the banister, up over the banister, and somebody's been up there and pulled it. Even though that came from a live stream where she proved 100% there was nobody else in the house with her. Oh, in their own words, did that doll just take a tumble because of gravity and it being a floppy doll? Yes, that's what they said. But it could be paranormal. Before anyone says, what would you know? You weren't there. No, I wasn't. But I went to 30 East Drive and I got that exact doll and I put it in the exact same place and it didn't move. Even when we were walking up and down the stairs past it, we tried to recreate it and we couldn't. So it seems that the true guys are going out there capturing these little nuggets here and there and they get called fake for it. And then there are other teams going out there and they are getting a plethora of paranormal activity. Just about every investigation they go on, they're getting stuff. And then it's like, I'm not fake. I didn't say you were. Why won't you shout me out? I'm not fake. I didn't say you were, but I think you are. No, that wasn't exactly a deep dive into everything they've ever done. But just off those little snippets that I looked at and some of those top 10 things, there's far too much activity. I'm sorry. The stuff just being out of shot, the reason that I would never have shouted you out anyway, and the reason I agreed to come on to a paranormal investigation with you boys was to see if I could catch you because I have had my suspicions since day one. The issue is, I kind of like you guys. Most of you come across really well. You're really funny. The entire team is very funny. And they clearly love what they do. They have passion for what they do. But way too much, way too often, and always just out of shot. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Do not go to Haunted Truth and give them any crap. Do not go over there shouting, hey, we watch Beardo and you're fake. They don't need it. I don't need it. Do I think they're staging? Do I think they are faking? Yes. Have I 100% proved every one of those items to have been staged? No. But have I put enough question into the amount, the framing, and the general attitude? I think so. So let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Much love to you all. Beardo out.